especially like Leonardo DiCaprio in the big in Don't Look Up. Like
Hmm.
it's just honestly like one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performances because of
Yeah,
how stressed out he is.
that movie gave me an anxiety attack
Oh
because of
yeah.
how stressed out he gets. Like I
Oh
literally
yeah.
felt like I was having an anxiety attack too because of him. I'm like, this isn't
Yeah.
cool. I almost didn't enjoy it because of that. Like it
Yeah.
felt like a horror movie where I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this.
Yeah. No, 100% is. No, no,
But it's
it's
just, his performance is infectious in that. Leo's is.
oh
So he
yeah.
does get the best performances out of a lot of
Which
people.
I'm not a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
I'm not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he's okay.
he's okay.
So, bro,
What? What?
watched the last episode of Bupkis.
Oh, really? Does it redeem
Honestly,
itself with that?
it did.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It's
it makes
pretty
you want
fucking,
more?
it's pretty sad. He
What?
goes to rehab. It's like all in black and white. It's pretty
He pulled a
insane.
Saul Goodman thing.
Kinda.
Don't they
Yeah.
do like the emotional stuff in the beginning? Doesn't it that show start off in black and white? Like the when he's like,
Better Call Saul.
yeah, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's black and white when it's the modern day. But
Well,
we're gonna sit here and talk about some movie shit.
yeah, we are. I just got back from the gym and I haven't showered yet, so I feel gross, but it's okay. If I looked washed out, it's because I went to the gym.
Ah, yeah. Take care of that body. What'd you do?
Yeah,
Legs? Did
I
you do leg
did do
day?
legs. I did do
Yeah.
legs day, and I never did leg day for like ever. So I'm not gonna be able to
Mm,
walk in like 5 hours. I didn't realize how out of shape I was until I was in San Francisco in February. But like
yeah.
I was so uncomfortable inside as well. I was just like, oh, this is a lot. I'm doing a lot because I don't
Oh,
move my body that much. So, and we're going to a music festival, you and I, and like pretty soon. So I wanted to get
yeah.
like ready to walk for a whole day. I'm not used to that.
Oh yeah,
So
baby.
I gotta train my body for
This is my
fun.
workout right here.
Yeah, the
Uh, uh,
dancing.
uh, uh. I feel like honestly, I feel like both of us we look really good right now.
Oh yeah, we're glowing up just
We're
in time
going.
for finally.
Yes, baby. Let's go. All right.
um, so yeah, welcome to History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. Consider this your secret public movie club. We are a podcast that celebrates. I feel like there's something in my throat. We are a podcast that celebrates all
You
things
ruined it.
movies. We react to the latest industry news. We do movie reviews and discuss just about everything movies. We try to have new episodes every week. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts, as well as a visual episode on YouTube. Hello. We are your hosts. I'm Elijah.
I'm Justin.
And if you happen to hear any snaps, crackles, or pops, or see anything visually disturbing during this episode, it's because we do our session through Zoom. But we're happy you're here.
Mm.
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 This is beautiful.
Nailed it. Chef's kiss.
Justin,
That was
this week we're going to
amazing.
be talking about two book adaptations, which I'm excited for because it just so happens that I read those books and then they were both announced, and I was like, damn, that's good. I'm glad they're doing that because they're pretty
Mm,
interesting stories. But
okay.
we're also talking about Aziz Ansari's new directorial debut because his last project was canned for because of Bill Murray, basically.
I
If you don't know about
know. Oh
that, you can
my
find it on an
God.
old episode or you
Yeah.
can Google it. But some stuff
We
went
don't like to
down.
discuss it. It's a
Yeah,
sad topic for me, especially.
yeah, it is. It's just yeah, it's one of those things that you just can't really be like, I don't know. It's just
I'm
one of those
never gonna
things.
watch Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties the same way ever again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know. So we're also talking about Robert. We're talking about Robert Pattinson again. We talked about him last episode, and I think we talked about him a couple. We talked about him quite a bit, but we're talking about Robert Pattinson again. We're talking about Keanu Reeves, Jonah Hill, and Kid Cudi. They all have projects coming
Oh,
out that I'm looking forward to that I think you might find interesting as well.
love it.
So, I'm going to start with these book adaptations. I have both of these books right next to me so I can read the synopsis right from the book instead of looking it up. But um, This first one was the book I was reading when we were in San Francisco together. It's like a big black book, and everyone thought I brought like my Bible. They're like, "Is that your Bible?" I was like, "No, this is a book. Just a novel." I forgot who asked that, but I was like, "No, it's a novel by the guy who did American Psycho,
Let me see
Bret
it. Brett
Easton Ellis."
Easton. Oh, Brett
Yeah,
Easton Ellis.
so it was just all black like this, right?
That
And
does look
and
like a Bible.
it's got gold on the side. Because this is the sleeve, though. It's called The Shards, but
Okay.
it's an insane book. Without saying the synopsis, I would compare it to it's like Scream meets like it's in the 80s, and it's like if the Scream was done at like a super private rich school, and all
Hmm.
these kids are like connected. It's about high schoolers, but the synopsis is this. It says 17-year-old Brett is a senior at an exclusive prep school when a new student arrives with a mysterious past. Robert Mallory is bright, handsome, charismatic, and shielding a secret from Brett and his friends. Even as Robert becomes part of their tightly knit circle, Brett's obsession with Robert is equaled only by his increasingly unsettling preoccupation with the trawler, a serial killer on the loose who seems to be drawing even closer to Brett and his friends, taunting them, and Brett in particular, with grotesque threats and horrific, sharply local acts of violence. And then there's a bit more, but that's basically what it's about.
Good Lord.
It's really
Love it.
dark though, because it's by the guy who did American Psycho, and this is the
Hmm.
first book I've read by him. I'm probably going to read American Psycho at some point and his other books. Like he has a book called what is it called? Less Than Zero, which is a book, but it's
Yeah.
also a movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Andrew
Yeah.
McCarthy. I want to read the book and see the movie,
You
and
should also watch Rules of Retraction.
I is that him?
Yeah, he wrote that book as well. And
Yeah,
also,
he's a good author, but his
yeah,
stuff is dark.
that book is fucked up. That
Yeah,
movie's fucked up. And it
this
also has a great James Vanderbeek performance because he's a complete sociopath. Do
wow,
not
yeah.
watch Dawson's Creek after. He's
You won't
not
be able to.
Dawson's. He's not Dawson right there.
Wow,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
he's a very interesting author. I mean,
He's
like American
yeah.
Psycho is definitely the best one. Rules of Attraction is really good,
Hmm.
but yeah, Less Than Zero. I can't remember if I even liked that movie or not.
I heard it was just
It's been
mediocre,
yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
but I'm interested still because it's kind of in the same because I guess this author tends to a couple of his books are like autobiographical in a way
Hmm.
of where he takes things from his actual life and makes it fiction. So I don't know
Yeah.
like auto fiction or something they call it. The Shards is one of those because the main character's name is Brett, and it's during the time when he was first writing Less Than Zero, the book
Mm.
originally. So it's like takes place in that universe kind of thing, and it has like a lot of good needle drops in the book where they talk about it. So I like made this whole playlist about it. It's all 80s music. It's so good. I was
Mm.
like, this really gets you immersed. So I'm glad that they're making it a TV show. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's because I love it when one book can be a TV show because it's like that's a
Yeah.
mini series.
Well,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably
You
gonna
could.
be
It's
there's
kind of like Lucky Hank. I haven't seen anything of it yet.
oh, is that based on a book?
Yeah, it's based on a
Okay.
book, the Bob Odenkirk show on
Yeah.
AMC. It's like uh I feel like that's like the way to adapt a book right now, especially
Yeah.
like how streaming is going. Like, if you just make it like a nice mini series,
Yeah.
and
The
then
Hobbit did
you
something
can get
weird where
all of
they
it,
split the one book into three movies, which was a
which is
little
dumb.
strange. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had to put in a lot of stuff to fill in the gaps because The Hobbit's only like that big. Like
yeah.
it's should maybe it should have been a TV show, who knows, but
Well,
I don't know.
also with a Fantastic Beast, it was just based off of
Like an
like J.K.
encyclopedia type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling just like did like a little thing, and then like they're like, we're gonna make this into three movies. It's like, I mean, like you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But HBO is the one who's producing this into a TV show, so I'm pretty excited
Nice.
about it. But it's very dark. So once it comes out and people are like, "Oh my God!" Like imagine the detail in the book, sort of thing, because
Mm.
it's intense. But I'm gonna read a lot more of his stuff now. But I'm looking forward to that. And Yeah, I didn't think this would happen because this book just came out this year and it's his latest book. And he hadn't made a book in like, I don't know, like 15 years or something. So this is his big comeback and everyone's like, this is great. So there's that. The Shards. I'm looking forward to that. I'm
Shards.
scared though that it might be too dark and people are like, "What the fuck did you do that for? Why would you read that book?"
Well, I
Because this
mean,
is the book that I was talking about when I said that I found out it's really hard to kill someone with a stab because they go into detail, and that's what they talk about in this book. He's like he like it's hard to explain, but
well, no, I get it because that he's a gnarly author. Author.
yes, he is. I mean, if anyone knows American Psycho, you know how fucked up he is.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, I love like especially with Rules of Attraction. Like
Mhm.
he starts it, and they do the same thing in the movie. He starts it mid sentence,
Hmm.
and then it ends mid sentence.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fucked up though.
His
It's fucking gnarly.
his
And
writing
I
is
I
insane, yeah.
will I will say Rules of Attraction like definitely, especially nowadays, it's a touchy movie. It's about
Didn't
college
age
and
well?
like it's not that.
Oh.
I honestly think that it aged. I don't think it aged poorly. It's a crazy movie, and
Yeah.
especially with
Uh,
James Vanderbeek, I think that he delivers a great. And there's a one scene with Fred Savage too.
really?
He's a heroin addict
Oh
and
wow.
putting heroin in between his toes.
Ugh.
It's a weird, crazy, odd movie, but it's fucking dark and be prepared.
I'm gonna check it out.
You should. You should.
So there's that book adaptation that I'm excited for. This next one is called How to Stop Time. Um, um, this one has Benedict Cumberbatch already announced, and it's going to be a TV series as well.
Mm.
Um, the novel, I have it right here. It's by Matt Haig. And I'm going to read you the back synopsis. It says Tom Hazard has just moved back to London to settle down and become a history teacher. But while he may look like an ordinary 41-year-old, owing to a rare condition, he's been alive for centuries. He has lived history firsthand, performing with Shakespeare, exploring the high seas with Captain Cook, and sharing cocktails with Fitzgerald.
What the
Now,
fuck?
now he just now he just wants a normal life. Unfortunately for Tom, the Albatross Society, the secretive group that protects people like him, has one rule: never fall in love. But on his first day, he meets a captivating French teacher who seems fascinated by him. And now the one thing Tom can't have just happens to be the one thing that might save him.
Good lord.
So this one's a lot lighter than the other book. It's a nice fantasy romance novel, and it's kind of like vampire-y in a way, but there's not as much violence or anything. But it's an interesting concept that was really fun and easy read. So it could be really good, could be really corny. I don't know.
It's gonna
It,
be a TV show.
it's going to be a TV show. I don't know if anyone officially has the
Acquired the
yeah,
rights.
I don't know who's going to be releasing it yet, but it's officially being made. And yeah, they have Benedict Cumberbatch attached. So
Hmm.
I guess I'm looking forward to that. I made it through the book, so it's not terrible. It's not terrible storytelling, but
Do you think that it's gonna be good for a miniseries?
yeah, it's only going to be a 6-part TV series, it says. So it's not even going to be super long. So
Is it enough like storytelling where it's not like gonna be like over?
yeah, they go through a few generations, like so each episode could just be a new generation of, and then have that main storyline of modern times and trying to figure out how he's gonna get out of the Albatross Society, who has strict rules or whatever. So it's a fun world, I guess, but I don't know. It's I wouldn't it's not my favorite book. I wouldn't like it wouldn't be the first book I recommend to people, but
I just love how you
it's
said that
fun.
you're like explaining like you're like trailing off and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be good. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch is all right. He's never blown me away with his acting. I mean, I kind of
Yeah,
liked him as
same.
Sherlock, but I never even finished that because those episodes are so long. They're like 5 movies, it seems like, because those
Yeah.
episodes are long. But I don't know. I've never been blown away by his acting, and a lot of his movies seem like subjects that I don't really care about, like British history,
100%. No,
war stuff.
I'm
I don't
with
know.
you. The only
Sorry about
movie I
that, but
can
I'm not
think,
interested in
yeah, right. The
that.
only movie I can think of that he was in.
Zoolander 2 played All. Is that his name? All?
Yeah.
Or this character's name?
Yeah. No, is that it? I forgot that he was in
Yeah.
Zoolander too. Oh, I was thinking about that movie with Johnny Depp, Black Mass.
Oh, he's in that? I forgot he
Yeah.
was in that.
He did a terrible like Boston accent.
Maybe that's why he doesn't do many American roles anymore, because he's not the best at. Oh, Doctor Strange. He's Doctor Strange, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
I forget. I don't even really like those. I like the first one, but the rest are bad.
I liked the mysterious madness of
You
the
don't even. It's gonna
of
be a different title every time.
the multiverse.
Is that
That's what it's called.
third one? Is that the second one or third one? I don't
That's
even remember.
I don't know. I
Doctor
can't.
Strange
But no. Doctor Strange in the multiverse
verse of madness.
stuff
Yeah.
and things happen, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And Sam Raimi directed it.
Yeah. He did his
That's what the
best.
movie's called. That's literally the title of the movie.
Directed by. Yeah. Yeah. There's that. I don't know. Studio Canal is. Oh, they're doing other projects by this guy Matt Haig. One
Mm.
called The Midnight Library, which I have in. I just haven't read it yet. Okay, interesting. So there's that. There's that to look forward to. Another mini TV show, TV series. I don't know who is releasing it, but yeah. How to Stop Time.
Yay!
Yay! News.
News!
um,
We're here.
this next
We're
project,
current.
it's happening now.
It's happening now, baby.
This next project doesn't have an official synopsis, but I'm interested in it because of the director. Aziz Ansari is making his new directorial debut because his last one was canned. His last one was based on a book about the end of like hospice care for older people and just people who are going to die, and what doctors do and how they handle those situations. He was making a movie about it. But this new project has Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen and him attached to star, and Aziz is
What?
writing and directing it, and it's called Good Fortune. So it's an interesting.
Did you say
That's
Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, and Aziz Ansari?
Yeah, they're
With
all
Aziz
together
Ansari directing?
and writing. Yeah, it's his. He's
What the
making this
fuck?
movie as his like. That's a pretty good follow up for being like I had Bill Murray, I had a bunch of other actors. I forgot who else was in his debut, but this is still a good lineup for
Yeah.
a debut. People trust Aziz Ansari because if you've seen Master of None, you can see
I
his
was just gonna say.
directorial style
Yep.
is beautiful.
Yep.
Like that show is so rewatchable just because of how it looks and the
Mm-hmm.
vision that well, I almost say Keanu Reeves, the vision that Aziz Ansari has in it, especially the last season, which he's hardly in.
Yeah.
But it's
The
like,
last season was very, very different, but yeah, no, you
yeah, it
can
felt like
tell
a
how
different show.
great of a director and writer that he is too.
It's
Especially with personal stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, you know.
that's why I'm excited for this new one. There's no
100%.
synopsis yet, but we're gonna talk about it once it does, because this has my attention now. It's by Lionsgate, so they're probably gonna release it in theaters because that's what Lionsgate has been doing. They sort of hold off and don't release a bunch of shit like Disney and stuff. So they pick
Mhm.
and choose, I think, pretty well. Lionsgate does.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they're gonna be Lionsgate is setting up a sale for it for Cannes, which is next month in June, I believe. I think it's in June,
Hmm.
which is the film festival, and he's gonna start a bidding war. So that means he's already started shooting this movie, and it's probably gonna be done pretty soon then, if he's gonna try to find buyers by next month. So
Yeah.
we'll probably hear more about this pretty soon.
I hope so. I mean, like that's a pretty good lineup.
What movie with Keanu Reeves do you think is like would you recommend to people first?
Ooh. Thumbsucker.
What is that?
It's
I
this
don't
movie
think I've heard of
about
that.
this kid. It's directed by Mike Mills, who did Beginners, 20th Century Women, and Come On, Come On with Joaquin Phoenix that came out not too long ago.
Hmm.
Um, It's about a kid that just sucks his thumb. And he goes to his dentist, and Keanu Reeves plays his dentist, and he's like a hippie,
Oh wow.
and I don't even know how
This
else to
is
explain the
yeah,
movie.
this is the synopsis. Justin throws himself
Oh,
and everyone around him into chaos when he attempts to break free from his addiction to his thumb. So it's
hmm
literally about him.
yeah,
Okay. People
and
just think,
shit gets fucking weird. It's a weird
wow,
movie. And Tilda
okay.
Swinton is in it as well. It's a
Yeah.
good one. But yeah, no, that's the one that I would
Well,
recommend.
you just put someone on to Thumbsucker. I have to check this
Yeah,
out. This
dude.
is from 2005. Wow.
Mike Mills, baby. He's a great.
Interesting.
Also, he wrote a lot of the songs for. Oh shit! What's the band's name? REM.
Oh, wow. Okay.
hmm hmm
Interesting.
Great man. Great man. We love him. We support him. We support him.
um, I ask you that because this next project we're talking about is also a Keanu Reeves project. So he's doing movies now that he's not attached to John Wick because the studio wanted to take a break from John Wick for a little bit.
Thank
Um,
God.
I mean, they're all good. They're all very good. Like
Yeah, no, they're all
visually,
good,
and the
but
fourth
yeah,
one is
yeah.
so
I haven't
good.
seen
The
it yet.
fourth one is so good. You're gonna
Uh,
laugh, but you're also gonna be like, "Holy crap!" Because it's
because
over
so
the
much
top
shit
as hell,
happens.
but it's so good. It was so much fun to watch. But yeah, Keanu Reeves is now setting up his next projects, and this next one is called Outcome, and it's directed by Jonah Hill. He found his next
Shut
project.
up.
Yep, yep, yep. It's also written by Jonah Hill, and he's co-writing the script with a guy named Ezra Woods. And he Ezra Woods doesn't have any credits, so it must be someone that Jonah Hill personally knows and
Yeah.
collaborated with, because I couldn't find anything that they also wrote previously. It's also produced by Jonah Hill's Strong Baby Productions, which you would know from mid 90s. It's called Outcome. I think Jonah Hill is going to be in it too.
Mhm.
But it stars Keanu Reeves as a character named Reef, a damaged Hollywood star who must dive into the dark depths of his past to confront his demons and make amends after he is extorted with a mysterious video clip from his past.
Oh shit.
So it could be something very dark.
That
It could
sounds interesting. It's
be
called Outcome.
called Outcome. Yeah.
That's that sounds like an amazing concept and an
Yeah.
amazing title
Dark comedy.
too.
It's going to be a
Yeah.
dark comedy. And it's by Apple Studios picked it up, so it's going to be on Apple TV.
Fuck.
Hopefully it gets a cinema or a theater release, because I know that they are pretty committed to doing theater releases with a lot of movies, like they did with Napoleon, Joaquin Phoenix's Napoleon, and Ridley Scott's coming out to theaters. So hopefully they do that with this movie, because some of us don't have Apple TV. And that's Justin. Justin's pointing at himself. He's the one who doesn't have Apple TV.
Well, my roommate does have Apple TV. So, I mean, like I shouldn't
Same.
be complaining anymore.
Okay.
But I want to complain because I'm trying to keep it consistent for the podcast.
We appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Like all of these stories are coming from Deadline. If you want to check them out, our source is Deadline for this episode. I don't know if
Gross.
I feel like I'm supposed to cite my sources a little bit more, but it's okay. It's all right. If anyone asks, you can find it online. Most of these are online.
Yeah. It's
um,
not just Deadline.
yeah, a lot of people are talking about these movies now. So there's that. Jonah Hill and Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves playing in two comedies, I guess, Aziz Ansari and Jonah Hill. It seems like he's doing, I don't know, what would you consider this in his career? He does comedy a lot. He's done a lot of comedy, I guess.
I feel like that he's just going with the fucking flow.
Yeah, he's
And
just a
that's like
great
the
guy
most
and happy.
Keanu
He just wants to
Reeves
work.
thing of all time.
I
Just him
just
just
love movies, he
yeah.
says.
The fact that
All the
he
time.
went from like John Wick to starring, not starring, but just featuring in a SpongeBob movie is like the most Keanu Reeves thing I've ever
Oh
heard in
yeah,
my
did you
entire
ever
life.
see Always
Modern
Be
day
My
Keanu
Maybe
Reeves.
too?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about that movie.
he plays himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so weird. I like that movie though a lot. So
Yeah, no, that was a cute movie.
it was a cute one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those Keanu Reeves projects, for two very different reasons, because those are both very interesting directing choices. See how
Uh-huh.
that works out for him and them. Okay, we're talking about Robert Pattinson again. Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson again. We talked about how he's going to be Dracula again in our last episode.
Mm.
This next movie, though, is a big ensemble project, and it's coming from Netflix. And Adam McKay is directing it. He's doing another
Oh,
ensemble comedy for Netflix after the success of Don't Look Up.
which I
This,
liked a lot.
yeah, this movie first had Robert Pattinson and Robert Downey Jr. attached, and it also has Amy Adams and Forrest Whitaker.
Mm.
The movie is a dark, dark comedy called Average Height and Average Build. It stars Pattinson, who will play a serial killer who enlists a lobbyist, played by Amy Adams, to change laws that will allow him to get away with murder more easily. Downey's
What?
role is a retired cop who won't give up on the murders, and the killer, Robert Pattinson, tries to prevent him from dogging his trail now that he's hung up his gun. The serial killer turns himself into a cause celebre. I think that's how you say it, which means he becomes an example for a political view, I guess, and he becomes really loud about it. And
Wow.
yeah, he does that so he can shield his true motives. So it's another political dark comedy from Adam McKay.
Yeah, no, that sounds fucking insane.
Yeah,
I'm
I
down
don't
for it.
see how that's gonna. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be hunting Robert Pattinson. Right, Robert. Okay, Robert versus Robert.
Robert versus Robert.
They need
Robert v.
that.
Robert.
Yeah, they need that in the marketing. Robert versus Robert. That'd be
Yeah, no,
great.
that sounds super interesting, especially with Adam McKay. Like, I don't know what the hell he's doing with his career right now,
Yeah, I was gonna
but I'm
ask you, how do you
so.
feel about his track record so far?
I mean, Vice, I was not too big of a fan of,
Mm-hmm.
but I really did like Don't Look Up. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was one of those. I don't think it was a perfect movie, of course, but I think he's doing what David O. Russell
Wants to be.
was doing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, no. I think
Prime
Dave.
wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, like Prime Russell, exactly. Like
Mm-hmm.
besides the minus the problematic stuff that he
Abuse.
does, yeah, abuse that he's been putting on. Adam
Yeah.
McKay is like just he's doing like this like free will thing, but he's like talking about things that are very important.
Yeah, he's been
And
doing that, I feel like, since The Big Short. Everything
yeah,
before that has been
well,
kind of
even with the
like,
other guys, like the other guys, like it's like
oh,
talking
yeah,
about
I guess it
it's talking
is.
about some shit that's like, especially the other guys and the Big Short. I'm pretty sure it's the same cinematographer as well,
I think
but
he
it's like
works with
talking
them. Yeah.
about, yeah, it's talking about like the same shit about like these like fucking brokers that are just being shisty.
Take advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's an interesting director, and I'm down for it. Especially, I
Hmm.
mean, like for this, it's like a serial killer, like fucking yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Trying to change laws for
Yeah,
himself. That's
fucking go for
interesting.
it. And especially with Robert Pattinson and Robert Downey Jr. in the
Yeah.
mix too. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, like even though I didn't like Vice all that much, I still think that's a fun movie. I mean,
Hmm.
like especially Christian Bale. Christian Bale and him, you can tell they just have like a really great working relationship with each other. And
Oh, yeah.
it just shows on the camera.
Have you ever started Succession?
I have not. I'm waiting until the show ends.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's on
I
its way
can't
out
wait
right
for
now.
it.
Last season's
Yeah,
going on. It's top tier show.
yeah.
Like,
No, I've heard nothing but great
Sundays
things
are
about
like
it.
my favorite nights now because I get to watch Succession and Barry. So
Oh yeah,
it's like it's an
Barry's
awesome
the
night.
only show right now that I'm actually like
Following.
consistently
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
following. But
I would
Succession,
suggest
because
Succession.
I have so much I have to catch up on, I'm just gonna wait until it's all done.
Yeah, the people are so despicable and it's so good. It's so
Well,
good.
and also our boys in that too from Minutemen.
Oh yeah,
Check out our Minutemen decom
yeah.
revisited.
Did you hear he was on a late night talk show recently and he ran into Quentin Tarantino on a plane? What's his name?
Nicholas
Braun? Braun?
Braun, yes.
Nicholas Braun. He's the main guy in Minutemen, and he had just come out with Minutemen, and he ran into Quentin Tarantino on a flight, and like was like, "Hey, I'd love to work with you. Look, see, this is me. I'm in a movie called Minutemen," and he was like, "I hope we work
Aw.
together one day." And Quentin Tarantino was like, "Yeah, I hope so too." We
That's
talked
so
about that on a late
adorable.
night show, so hopefully Nicholas Braun gets put in the last Quentin movie. Be
Yeah.
awesome. He's
The
he,
last Quentin movie. Who
but
knows?
I
Who
mean,
knows what's gonna happen?
he's a breakout star in
Yeah.
Succession. His character's great. His name's Cousin Greg. It's a good one. I
Oh
would
yeah,
recommend.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
let me know
I'm
when you
very,
start that one.
very, very happy that
I
he's
bring that
getting
up
the
because
attention he
Adam
needs.
McKay directed the pilot of that, and
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
look of it's kind of like that style of like Vice and Big Short and stuff, where it's kind of like The Office, but it's really dramatic and dialogue
Yeah.
heavy.
Which that's like the one thing, especially about the Big Short. Like I'm like those like zooms.
Yeah.
Like it does get tiresome, but dude, he gets such great performances, and dude, it's such a it's hilarious. Like he like manages to like make things so he talks about things that are so serious, but
Yeah.
he gets these like madcap, wacky performances
Hmm.
from people, especially like Leonardo DiCaprio in the big in Don't Look Up. Like
Hmm.
it's just honestly like one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performances because of
Yeah.
how stressed out he is.
That movie gave me an anxiety attack
Oh
because of
yeah.
how stressed out he gets. Like I
Oh
literally
yeah.
felt like I was having an anxiety attack too because of him. I'm like, this isn't
Yeah.
cool. I almost didn't enjoy it because of that. Like it
Yeah.
felt like a horror movie where I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this.
Yeah. No, 100% is. No, no,
But it's
it's
just, his performance is infectious in that. Leo's is.
oh
So he
yeah.
does get the best performances out of a lot of
Which
people.
I'm not a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
I'm not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, he's okay.
he's okay.
He's
Let's
all right.
see. So we have one more topic to talk about. This next movie, all these movies kind of sound really fun to me so far, and I think this last one is no different. This one sounds like it's going to be fun. Um,
Honestly, this is a solid episode because we haven't talked about Disney once.
well, we talked about Minutemen.
Fuck.
um, so this next one is a Sony Pictures horror action comedy, and it's produced by Scott Cudi, aka Kid Cudi. He's also
Oh,
starring in it.
son of a
So
bitch.
I don't know how Kid Cudi's somehow. Well, I guess he maybe always had money, but he recently, like in the last 5 or 6 years, he started to produce, or like maybe even less than that, but he started to produce a lot of projects like horror movies. Like he's a producer on the Pearl X and Maxine trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
that whole thing, and I think, I don't know, uh, he's been making his way into acting a
Also,
lot more,
Intergalactic on Netflix.
which is really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like a full length feature, but it's like a nice visual uh association thing for his album, which is pretty
Yeah.
good. Just
I still
integrates
haven't
all.
seen it. I really want to
It's
watch it.
beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not the best. It's not like I
It's
wanted to
kind
like
of
it a lot
like
more, but
the Guava Island that
yeah,
Donald
for
Glover did.
Amazon.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's
yeah,
exactly like that, where it's just like it features all of his songs to
yeah.
give you a mood for and a sense of
Which is dope. I
it
feel like
is.
a lot of artists should do something like that.
Yeah, yeah. He's a really cool creator now. But this next one sounds interesting. It's called Hell Nah, and it's not a spiritual sequel to Nope, but it could have been. It sounds like. Um, it also is produced by Sam Levinson, who people know from Euphoria.
Hmm.
The only thing I like about from Sam Levinson is his movie
Malcolm and
Malcolm and
Marie.
Marie. That movie is beautiful. That's like
Still
the
haven't
only thing
seen
I know
it.
about him. That's the only thing I know about him. I heard he's not that great on set of Euphoria. I never watched Euphoria, but there's that. He's a producer
Oh,
for that.
really? Is he like getting like bad press on Euphoria?
Kind of. He's also getting pretty bad press for The Idol with The Weeknd, because they did some weird shit
I
with the
forgot
scripts.
about that shit.
Yeah, and everyone was talking about this is all before it came out, but they're talking about how a lot of the stuff they shot in the scripts for The Idol was kind of just done just so they could see them do it, and it's not actually going to be in the show, sort of thing. Like some fucked
Weird.
up shit.
Yeah, weird,
So,
weird, weird, weird.
but this is all before it's coming out, so it might actually all be in the show, and people just like
Uh-huh.
read stuff. I don't know, but apparently it's a pretty graphic show, The Idol.
Well, yeah, it looks fucked
And with
up.
Euphoria and stuff, like he just didn't listen to his actors who I guess were like uncomfortable with some storylines that, and he was just like fuck your opinion, like it's my show, sort of thing.
Mm,
So like some people have
goddamn.
left the show because of that, and now they're aging it up because they're like, this is pretty fucked up because it's all high schoolers. So now the next season's like 5 years after high school or something. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeast.
But enough about
Yeast.
Sam Levinson. We're talking about Hell Nah. He's just a
Yeah.
producer on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's also being, I believe, written by the Lucas brothers, Keith and Kenny Lucas, who got nominated for Judas and the Black Messiah. And they
Yes.
also first broke
Hilarious
out into
duo.
the world with 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street,
22 Jump Street.
where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
played
yeah.
the twin brothers.
And they got that special Lucas Brothers. Oh wow,
Yeah,
dude.
so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're
That's
really
awesome.
cool, and I'm glad that they are
Love
doing
them.
more projects because I'm looking at their page right now. It says they're writing a project for Lord and Miller as well. So I'm interested to see what
Nice.
that's going to be about when we find out more about that, and also a Judd Apatow project. So some big names are want to work with these guys because they're great, and
Well, I mean, like, especially like them writing Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean,
yeah,
like,
which was
fuck, dude.
Oscar
Like,
nominated.
yeah,
So.
who knew that they would fucking pull that out of the
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea that they were one of the
and they didn't
writers on
even
that.
star in it. They're not even like gloating about it. That's some
Yeah, it's
love it.
got a few writers on it, but they definitely punched
Yeah.
up the script
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
came up with the story for it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's still pretty cool. They're really cool creatives. They had a good comedy show, but they're writing it, and it's I haven't said what it's about yet.
I
It's
know. Sorry.
Kid Cudi, yeah, is starring in it. It's called Hell Nah. There's no official synopsis, but it takes place during Paris Fashion Week, and there's gonna be zombies. It says it's a zombie movie set in the Paris Fashion Week show. It sounds like it's gonna be similar to This Is the End, but with Kid Cudi and all his friends and
Mm,
all of his fashion friends, you know?
okay.
But that's just the comparison I have of like end of the world, like, and he said there's going to be a lot of people in it. So I have a little bit of hope with this because I think Kid Cudi does have a good track record of things that he's doing. Like, even though he's in House Party, the remake, he's the best part of the House Party remake that just came out. It's on HBO now. His
I
whole
still haven't seen
storyline,
that one.
his stuff is worth watching, but everything else is so mediocre about that movie. But this movie's called Hell Nah, a zombie movie starring Kid Cudi. This is what Kid Cudi said about it. He said, "This movie has been 5 years in the making, and I'm telling the world now, this film will fuck you up in all the best ways. I have been a horror fan since I was 7 years old. The first horror movies I ever saw were Night of the Living Dead and Evil Dead. And from that point on, I was hooked on the feeling of being frightened. I've been wanting to get into this world, creating my own stories for a long time, and now, after years of working it out in my head, it's finally happening. Sam, the Lucas brothers, and myself have really crafted a tale we feel everyone who's a fan of horror and comedy will enjoy. You will laugh, oh yes you will, but the horror aspect of this movie will really be something to see. You will be shook, I promise. Y'all know I don't play around." So
Oh,
that's
no.
that's what it's about.
Oh,
Could
that
be
sounds
hit or
great.
miss. The way your reaction was, you're like, ugh, after you heard the synopsis. Zombies at Paris Fashion. I think no, you
I
said
mean,
when I compared it to This Is the End.
yeah,
I mean, I don't
I
know
don't
though.
know.
I don't know. I just feel like
It could be this is the end, but also it could be like Good Morning,
I
the
don't
the
think it's gonna
the,
be
the
like Good Morning.
MGK movie.
No, I don't. This seems like it's way higher in quality based on
Yeah,
who's behind the scenes. It's not like
uh,
Kid Cudi's like I'm writing it and directing it all by myself. He's
yeah,
pulling in some big chops. Is that a word? Is that how you say it? Big chops?
yeah.
I
Big chops, of course.
don't know.
The big chapos.
um, yeah, so there's those projects. Those are all the movie news we have. I was gonna say they all seem pretty original, but we just talked about some TV or book adaptations, which are not original, but
I mean, hey, it's much
a little
better.
bit of both. Wow,
There's Clementine,
that looks like that big bear from what is that bear that like talks to the moon?
the bear in the big blue house.
That looks like the bear in the big blue house.
Put her down. She's old.
Oh.
So yeah, that's our episode. Let us know what you guys are watching. Let us know what we should be watching. Let us know what you're looking forward to. Which Keanu Reeves project are you more excited for? The Jonah Hill one or the Aziz Ansari one? Who we'll see. What about
I
you? Which one
like
are you more excited for? Jonah Hill's or Aziz's?
Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
Just because
yeah,
Jonah Hill and Keanu Reeves, like, what the fuck? What's that gonna be?
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be
What's
dark
that gonna
comedy.
be like?
It sounds like it might be about cancel culture, or it might be something worse than that, like maybe he murdered someone or something. But it can't be
I'm with
that
it.
dark because it's a comedy too. So it's kind of be like
You
it's
wanna know
just something
something
embarrassing to him.
really quick though? Because
Yeah.
you mentioned like Keanu Reeves project, Film Sucker, and also that movie fucking Knock Knock. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, is that
The
Eli
Eli
Roth?
Roth movie?
Yeah.
Awful, but he just to watch him say "fuck you, bitches" is hilarious.
Yeah, that's like a
He's
really
like he's
that
like
was probably
neck deep
such an
in
easy
dirt.
movie to make too because it just takes place in like a house and it's like three actors, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it has a girl from Knives Out,
Anna
Anna.
Anna de Armas. And
Yeah, look at us,
I think that's Eli
allies.
Roth's wife too, the other woman. So it's all in house.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. There's an episode for you guys. We did it.
We did it again.
Woo!
This is episode what like 60, 67,
64.
64.
We're getting there. We're gonna have a very, very big special for our 69th episode.
Yeah, 69, baby.
That's my dirty laugh.
I don't want you to ever do it again.
Tongue out too.
No,
Every time.
no, put your tongue back in your mouth.
So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Maybe not next week, but our next episode. I guess that's it. You want to say anything, Justin? Oh, he wants to say so much.
No,
So many options. All right. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.